So if you guys saw the news today, as it is Monday today, as we're recording this video, you saw that the Atlanta Hawks just got rid of head coach Lloyd Pierce. And basically, I'm going to give you a pretty detailed / raw response on what I think could have played into it and what could have happened. Before we get into the video, make sure to like and subscribe. All that is going to be up here. Of course, turn on the notification bell. You guys help me out a little bit. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. Now, Lloyd Pierce being gone does not surprise me at all. Dude is like, what, 62 and 120 as a Hawks head coach? Guy has a losing record. The team hasn't been over 500 in his entire career as an Atlanta Hawk coach. I really think it was time for him to go. But there are a lot of things that could have played into this. And, of course, you saw a couple of videos ago, I talked about how him and Trae Young did not have the best relationship and how Trae Young and John Collins did not have the best relationship. Now, how does Coach play into that? Well, Coach not having the best relationship with his best player is very, very essential especially for a younger team like the Atlanta Hawks. It's essential for Trae's confidence. It's essential for Trae Young's freedom on the court. Like you saw with Nick McMillan, Trae Young had, what, 2-3 games where he had like 30 points and 9 to 10 assists. And like he looked freer on the court. He looked like he can do much more than he wanted. He looked like he was basically just being Trae Young. And I really think that Lloyd Pierce somehow limited that. I think Lloyd Pierce somehow kind of limited Trae Young's ability. And of course, that has no fault on anybody. This is not a bad head coach. I just think he was the wrong head coach. Because you have to think about it. This guy, he came from Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, which are like the complete and dead opposite of Trae Young and I guess you can say John Collins. This guy came from the complete opposite. I think he was the wrong coach, and I think that he wanted Trae Young to be more of a facilitator than a scorer. And while Trae Young's a great passer, while Trae Young's a great facilitator, I personally feel like Trae Young is a better scorer than he is a passer. Trae Young, he can easily average 30 points a game. Whether you like it or not, he can more than easily average 30 points a game. We've seen it done before, and we're almost going to see it done again this season. I'm just going to remind you guys, like, this was not quite unexpected, but at the same time, Trae Young had 2 straight bad games, so I didn't quite expect the coach himself to get the blame for that, because Trae Young, he did have a terrible game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. He had an equally bad game against the Heat as of the recording of this video yesterday. So, yeah, I didn't really expect, Lloyd Pierce to take the blame for that. However, they fired him. They parted ways. This is on March 1st, 2021. So, yeah, they parted ways. And it's a lot to go into it, but there was a lot of information, of course. Of course, you have Trae Young not getting along with his head coach that well, and I think that plays the biggest. I think that's the biggest amount of information, so that's what I'm going to focus on. Trae Young not having a big relationship with Lloyd Pierce, I think went into the firing quite a lot, because when your best player does not have a great relationship with your head coach, then that's just priority for disaster. Like, that's not going to end up well. And as you can see, someone's going to end up leaving. Either Trae Young would have had to end up leaving, or either Lloyd Pierce would have had to end up leaving. And who in the world is going to get rid of Trae Young? Probably a top point guard in the league. Nobody with common sense. Therefore, that's why I think Lloyd Pierce ended up leaving. I think that's why he ended up leaving. Because Lloyd Pierce, he's not a bad head coach. I don't want to spread the narrative that Lloyd Pierce was a bad head coach, but I think he was holding the team back at this point. It looked like our scoring production has been going down. It looks like we're running the wrong defense. I think this team is a bit fit for a tighter zone defense, not a wide zone defense that we're playing, a zone defense that leaves a lot of holes, a lot of places for cuts and easy buckets. Like, I think that is what was wrong. I think he just simply ran the wrong everything for the wrong team. If he was on another team, a paint-centric team, not a perimeter-centric team like the Hawks, a team that uses the paint in the mid-range, maybe like the Spurs or something like that, then I think it would have been a great system, because the Spurs, first, they have some of the better defenders in the league, and their offense is more inside-based. The Hawks are what you call a perimeter-centric team, and let's just say that Lloyd Pierce came from the dead opposite of that. He came from a team that was paint-centric. He came from a team that was more oriented around a center more than a point guard, because I know Ben Simmons, he's a great point guard, but that we all know that that's Joel Embiid's team, so he came from something totally different. Now, in terms of who I think the Hawks need to hire, I would not personally mind keeping, Nate McMillan. I think Nate McMillan is a great head coach. I really think that he can provide really well for us. We went 2-1 with Nate McMillan in the lineup. Nate McMillan in the lineup. We went 2-1, so that was pretty good. And of course, Trae Young had 3 very good games as McMillan was coaching for the 3 games that Lloyd Pierce had to go and take care of his child, take care of his business. So I wouldn't mind that. But also, I think we need to sign a Warriors or a Nets assistant. And here's why. I think the Warriors run the perfect offense for Trae Young. I think the Warriors can kind of find themselves another Klay Thompson that can go next to Trae Young, and Trae Young being the Stephen Curry in that situation, I think he really flourished. Now, the Nets situation is a bit more interesting. I think in the Nets situation, Trae Young gets switched to the shooting guard position, and then you put somebody who can play defense and that can run the point guard position. I think putting Trae Young at shooting guard is a great idea, because I think it could possibly unleash his scoring ability. Of course, he's going to be passing a lot less, but I think Trae Young scoring the ball is way more effective. I really think Trae Young will be very effective at the shooting guard position, and we've seen it with Kyrie Irving. I know Trae Young and Kyrie Irving aren't exactly the same. However, Kyrie Irving has now been unleashed. And while he's hurt right now, he hasn't been as injured up as he's been in the past couple seasons. Kyrie Irving has been unleashed. His scoring ability has been unleashed. He doesn't have to worry about walking up the floor and setting up the entire offense. All he has to worry about doing is playing ball, playing basketball. And I think that would really, really benefit Trae Young. However, that's it for this video. Fairly short video today, 6 minutes and 40 seconds. However, make sure to like and subscribe. All that is going to be up here. Is up here at the beginning of this video. I'm on Spotify and I'm on Deezer. I'm on iHeartRadio now. So all those links will be in the description. Whether you're listening to this on the radio or you're listening to this on YouTube or watching it on YouTube, I guess. Thank you for watching. Stay loved. Stay blessed.